You are now tuned into the Panther Nation podcast.
Delone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
Seal, he's intercepted by Keithley. Keithley inside the 20, to the 10, and to the end zone for another Panther.
You are now tuned into the Panther Nation podcast.
Delone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
Seal, he's intercepted by Keithley. Keithley inside the 20, to the 10, and to the end zone for another Panther.
All right. This is gonna be a fun episode. I already know it. Let's get into the waivers. Let's see what we're gonna do here. What's up, Classic Darkness? I'm here to take your fantasy questions. We are heading towards week 11. We will go for an hour, depending on how many questions I have. If I don't have as many, I'm gonna cut it short. It all depends. I mean, with regards to the levels of availability, there's a few players that you can definitely look into. I will say, there's a few players. There were some injuries that makes it interesting for the rest of the way. If you want recommendations for the Panthers game, I think DeAndre Smith is going to go ham sandwich on us. But let's get into some of the players. So we got 3 running backs you can look into this week. One that I'm kind of shocked was out in the, that's pretty much available in a lot of wires, and that would be Nahim Heinz. I'm not saying he overtaking the job, but I am saying he's probably pushing a lot towards the job as long as Austin Eckler's out. He's pretty much had almost 20 carries. He had almost 20 touches the last 2 weeks. So you can absolutely pick him up in your waiver wire. I'm talking about Nahim Heinz. I'm all jarbled because my kids are out here in the background. But so Nahim Heinz, I'm shocked he's still available in a lot of leagues. Kalen Ballage from the Chargers. Because of the Justin Jackson injury, he should be available in a lot of places. My recommendation now at this point, you can drop Justin Jackson if you have him. Try to get a replacement for him. He's definitely droppable at this point. Because they put Justin Jackson on IR, by the time he's available to come back, we anticipate Eckler will be back. But Caleb Ballage is doing enough damage right now in his offense that he could potentially take some share from Eckler if he keeps this up. So just let's monitor it. He's definitely in the RB2 flex range for you if you need a running back badly. Because he's getting the bulk of the carries, I like Kalen Ballage going into the draft. I wanted Carolina to draft him in the late rounds, but obviously that didn't happen. And he's got another revenge game against the Jets, so it should be good. He had one with Miami last week, and he'll have one against the Jets this week. All right, speaking of Miami, Salvon Ahmed looks like he might have control of the running back carousel. I'm not a big fan of the Dolphins running back situation as it is, but you could do Salvon Ahmed. Salvon Ahmed is a viable option. I would probably monitor it, see how he does in some other games, and then go from there. When it comes to the wide receivers, I was harping about Cole Beasley last week. I'm going to continue to harp about Cole Beasley. He's getting a lot of target share he should be rostered in all leagues. I'm kind of shocked he's not. Jacoby Myers is looking like it's Cam Newton's favorite target in New England. He's available in a lot of leagues. I can understand why. A lot of people don't trust Cam, but you got to trust targets, right? So you got to roll with him. More running back help. You can go with Gallman if you really need help. Damien Harris, if he's the lead running back for New England. Keelan Cole is available in a lot of leagues at wide receiver. You probably should put some consideration into that. Logan Thomas, he started pretty hot. He ain't too hot now. But if you need a tight end, you might as well go for it. Now you're talking about bye weeks. 4 to 6 teams are on a bye every week. So when you take that into consideration, you probably could utilize them. But the tight end position, if you're only, it's mainly like if you only got the top 3 guys, everybody else isn't as good. Actually, it's pretty much Kelsey. It's Kelsey and everybody else at this point. All right, we got a lot of questions. Let's see. Should I play Allen Robinson or Robbie Anderson? If Bridgewater doesn't play, it's definitely Allen Robinson. It's more of a coin flip if Bridgewater does play. Should I start Christian Kirk? What are your other options? Should I pick up Goddard? If you're desperate for a tight end. What's up, Grandizer? Christian Kirk or Curtis Samuel? Give me Curtis Samuel. So Robinson or Robbie, I just answered that. Should I drop Goddard? Depends on what you got in tight end, bro. Play Kurt. Should I pick up Ballage over Davis? I'm kind of shocked that Mike Davis is available, to be honest with you. I still got faith in Mike Davis over Kalen Ballage, so no. Get Davis if you can get him. Then we'll go Davis and Ballage. I'm kind of shocked that Davis is available in leagues. Ballage ain't that horrible. He hasn't been horrible the last 2 games, man. He's getting 20 carries. He's the best running back the Chargers got. That's healthy. He's getting to work. He was terrible in Miami. I will give you that. He was terrible with the Jets, too. But it looks like with the Chargers, he's doing pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I decided to do this episode in my living room. I don't know. I might stream something today, man. I've been busy at work, so I'm probably gonna do some hours after I'm done with this stream. My plan is to work 10-hour days all week, and then take most of next week off for Thanksgiving and stuff. Yeah, Damien Harris is getting them touches, but the New England backfield is still unpredictable, and then you still got Cam that's gonna run too. So you factor all those things in. If you had to start a New England running back, it would be Damien Harris. But you have to take into consideration that you don't know what you're going to get with that backfield because the Patriots are so weird. Well, I only need Ballage to have 1 or 2 more good games, man, because it's almost time for Austin Eckler to come back. I'm kind of shocked he's available. With Miles Sanders back, it's tough. Miles Sanders is going to get the bulk of the work for Philadelphia. Oh, no problem, Hector. We normally try to, man. It was a long episode yesterday. We went for 2 hours yesterday. Typically, we try to keep it between an hour and 90 minutes, but we broke the 2-hour point, and I'm pretty sure, depending on what happens tomorrow with zone coverage, we're definitely going to hit an hour for that, but it could go longer depending. So, no, that should be good. But that's not a problem, man. I appreciate you guys with your patience. I was a little late today because of I started the stream forgetting that I had to set the private, so I had to start the stream again. But nah, it's good. This is good. Yeah, man. I could have changed. I could have walked out and gotten to the PJ the way it was looking because we went for 2 hours, but there was a lot of stuff going on. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow with regards to the phone lines. We're gonna have Noli and Jared on with us tomorrow. We'll have some of the chat cats on with us tomorrow to talk about the offensive line and the trenches and the history. If you've been following Panther Nation PC on Twitter, you would have seen that Rashad has been posting some crazy stats, man. I mean, I have my opinion on what's been going on with the line. I believe it's something that can be fixed quickly. We have to make the decision to invest in it. And I absolutely believe that before we think about drafting a quarterback, we got to invest in the line. Do I have any Lions players on my fantasy team? I do not. I don't have any. I don't have one. Not a single one. And the thing is, I didn't do that on purpose, because sometimes when you do the draft, man, it's about how the board falls. But I will say, like, when it came to the draft, the only guy I really had on my board was Galladay, because I didn't trust the running back situation in Detroit. So the only guy I really had on my board was Galladay. Having issues with the chat. CMC's out. I don't think he's playing this week. CMC's out. I don't watch enough college, but if he's a linebacker or offensive lineman, I have no issue with it. But we need a middle linebacker first. I think that's going to be the argument ultimately. I think we need a middle linebacker. Rashad thinks we need a left tackle. I mean, we're close. I mean, I told him, based on the rankings that he put on his Twitter, you can pretty much flip it for me with regards between linebacker or offensive tackle. Like but we have a lot of holes. Man. There's a ridiculous amount of holes that we have. Make sure you guys hit the like button if we need it for them algorithms. But now we have a lot of holes, a ridiculous amount of holes. I think he's legit. I just don't. It's going to be hard if there's other running backs in Philadelphia, man. I think he can play. I just don't think. I think he can play, but the concern is that you got to worry about everything else that's going on. Because if Miles Sanders is back, because I haven't checked. Did Miles Sanders get hurt and I just wasn't aware of it? But Miles Sanders is the starter. That's the concern you have. Because when Miles Sanders is the starter, and since Miles Sanders is the starter, it's kind of a tough sell to say that Boston Scott's the real deal. I wouldn't even call tight end a hole. And you got that order wrong, bro. Middle linebacker shoot, the first thing you mentioned. Then offensive line. Then DE. DB, I mean. I might end up. I can't pull up the leagues this week because I'm having some issues. But I will say that everybody is doing okay except for me in the PNP league. I'm doing pretty well in my other leagues. I'm 4-6 in the league that I started 0-6 in, but I think my playoffs hopes are getting less likely. I needed certain people to lose last week, and that didn't happen. I still got a shot, but it's going to be tough sledding. So I still got to go to be 6-6, which is still be an accomplishment in itself. And then I could probably still win the toilet bowl. I'm trying to trade for Travis Kelce right now, but I don't. But the guy doesn't want to give. The guy wants me to give up Dalvin Cook to get him, and I'm not willing to do it. But he offered me Zeke and Kelce for Dalvin Cook. I don't want to do it. Oh yeah, I meant to tell you, man. I didn't mention the quarterbacks. Yeah, Jameis is going to start if Drew Brees is out, and it sounds like Drew Brees is going to miss at least a game or two. So, if you need a quarterback, fire up Jameis, because I'm going after Jameis in the league because I need help. Carson Wentz is trash, and I need help. So, I am going after Mr. Winston. The return of Jameis. Jameis, the return. I wonder if they're going to bench him for Taysom Hill if he keeps throwing interceptions, if he starts throwing interceptions. But the return of Jameis. The return of Jameis Winston. It's kind of crazy how that works, huh? And in one of my leagues, I traded Drew Brees for Robert Woods. Trade's looking pretty good right now. Oh, if Drew's out for 3 weeks, Jameis is it, buddy. Jameis gonna get me there. Well, the thing is, man, it's about the scheme, too. And he had a lot of different coaches, too. People forget about how many different coaches Jameis had. Like, Cam had such a big benefit versus Jameis. When you sit down and think about it. Jameis had all them coaches. He had so many different coaches. Cam only had one. I got offered Tyler. You talking about Hawkinson? For Tyler Boyd, should I accept? Do you need a wide receiver? Or do you need a tight end that bad? Like, what's your wide receivers looking like, bro? Hold on, let me do something. I'm going to try something real quick. I'll pop this chat out. All right, much better. Now I can blow that up. All right, now I can actually see your stuff. Now I'm playing, I got Carson Wentz. I am playing Jameis this week. Oh yeah, you can trade him. Yeah, you can trade him. Yeah, you can trade Boyd for that. If you need a tight end that bad, who's your tight end? If you need a tight end that bad, I'm willing for you to, you can do it. But who's your tight end? Ooh. Yeah, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it. I'll pull the trigger. You got strong enough wide receivers to get you there. That's pretty good 3 wide receiver set. Got Crowder, Myers, Reynolds, Pittman. Yeah, you do need receivers. But, I mean, you just start the one, but with the ones you got, just pick the ones that's getting the most targets. So, Myers probably getting more targets than anybody else. Pittman's been turning it around, and Crowder. So, those are the 3 I would probably start. But, yeah, hopefully you got strong running backs off of Wolf. If your running backs are trash, too, you're in deep trouble. deep, deep trouble. Oh, Chubb's back at least. Oh, that's kind of brutal. What happened, man? You had injuries at running back or something? Oh, that's who you roll with. Yeah, man. Well, this time, I right now, since we're in the final stretch of fantasy, this is the advice I give to everybody when it comes to fantasy. You're pretty much at the final 6 weeks of the year. It's time to start thinking about what you need to close the deal. For most teams, what you have right now is not going to be enough. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying that as a fact. Typically, there's always a player that pops in that comes out of nowhere to close the deal for the last 4 weeks. And it could be somebody like Derrick Henry. But there's always some guy that pops up to close the deal. So you got to keep that in mind. So when you start thinking about your moves from waiver wire, you got to start thinking a week ahead. You have to start thinking about other factors when it comes to that. But if you guys don't have your handcuffs, you need to go get them now. This is pretty much your last call for handcuffs. If you ain't got the handcuff now, this is the time to get it, because nothing ruins a fantasy championship more than an injured running back in the 13th, 14th week. And there's always somebody that shows up and closes the deal. Always. Always, always, always. Yeah, because Ingram's back. You could probably drop him at this point. The only time I will keep Dobbins is if it's a keeper lead. No, you can't drop Metcalf. No, you cannot drop Metcalf, Hector. I can't allow you to do that, brother. Can't drop Metcalf. I ain't touching CD with a 10-foot pole now. I ain't touching none. I'm not a fan of either receivers in Dallas with the quarterback situation right now. I'm good. Well, the thing is, man, you guys picked on me about DJ Moore and saying you should just drop him. Nah, I can't drop him because I'm not gonna drop him after one bad week. I cannot trust a Dallas wide receiver. I have Amari Cooper on my bench this upcoming week. And I can tell you who I have for receivers in that league. But I put Cooper on the bench. And I don't know if I'm going to change. I don't think I'm going to convince myself otherwise. So my wide receivers that I'm starting Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, D-Hop, Robert Woods, and Kelsey. I have no interest. I tried to trade DJ away, man. I tried to get him in a package deal with Kelsey, but then he wanted to cook. And I'm like, nope, I ain't trying to do that. Daniel Jones. To be honest, it's too early to tell, man. You can't call nobody a buster after 3 years, to be fair to him. Nah, Lazard. Did anybody get hurt for Green Bay to say that Lazard is a fantasy performer? Because at best he's the third wide receiver. Would I rather have Amari Cooper or DJ Moore? DJ Moore. And not because I don't like the quarter. I wouldn't start MVS after one good game. I wouldn't start MVS unless Devontae Adams is hurt. But back to the Cooper versus DJ Moore. I don't trust Amari Cooper with the quarterback situation in Dallas. Now, DJ had a good game, man. He had a great game. I mean, he got a touchdown. He had a really good game. No question. I started him last week. I can give folks grief and start him when I need to. I have no qualms about that. None whatsoever. Good for you, man. You know, it's funny that you made this decision. I don't know if that's because you didn't agree with me or what. But no, I have the right to be critical of a player if I feel like the person's underperforming. And you know, it blew up on my face and it's fine. I'll stand by with what I said. I mean, he played very well this week. I'm happy he did. I just want him to do that every week, man. I'm all about that consistency. All about that consistency. I hope you guys are staying safe during this whole COVID thing, man. Yeah, man, I like Burns. That's why I wore my jersey, man. I had to wear for Burns today, man. I wore Peppers yesterday. I don't know if you guys noticed during the episode yesterday. I had on number 90. It's a theme. We got to get this pass rush popping. Phil Snow got to get it going, buddy. He's got to get it going. Anybody got any more fantasy questions? If not, I'm about to close it out. I'm about to close shop and get to work because I got a couple things I need to get done tonight. They're not going to change their name, man. Will and Company is not going to change their name. Chase or Robbie. I don't get the rest, man. I don't get the rest. Let's see. Juju will start going forward. Sure. I mean, yeah, he's a top 20 guy. Chase or Robbie. Chase. Only because... If you're talking this week, Chase, only because I'm assuming that Bridgewater is not going to play, and if Bridgewater is not going to play, then Robbie falls, in my opinion. Robbie falls a decent chunk. Would you start a running back for Denver versus Miami this weekend? No. They're splitting the work there. And Miami's defense is actually pretty good. And this could be a situation where the Broncos are gonna fall behind pretty quickly, pretty early. All right, last call for questions. All right, I'm gonna close shop. So tomorrow, zone coverage. Zone coverage is tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the trenches tomorrow. We're going to have some of the chat cats on. DJ or Robbie? DJ only because I'm assuming that Bridgewater is out. DJ. So, zone coverage tomorrow. You too, Hector. Zone coverage tomorrow, 8 p.m. We're going to have the chat cats up in the piece. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Hope to see you guys there. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be a friendly reminder of our offensive line problems that we've had for over a decade, close to a decade at this point. So you guys get ready for it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. You know where to follow me, Champ D1012. You know where to follow the podcast, Panther Nation PC. We're on Facebook, Panther Nation Podcast. We're on YouTube, obviously, because you met us here. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys. See you guys in the next one. Later.